The cabin lights flickered like dying stars as the plane shuddered through turbulence. And in that split second, Randy's world cracked open. Not from the storm outside, but from the scream that tore from his son's throat. "Daddy, it hurts," Timmy wailed, his small body slamming against the armrest, the seatbelt digging into his fragile ribs like a cruel vice. Randy unbuckled in a heartbeat, scooping the boy into his arms before the flight attendant could bark her next order, her voice slicing through the chaos like a knife. "Sir, you can't do that. Safety protocols." Randy held Timmy tighter, the boy's tears soaking his shirt, ignoring the glares from the suited businessman across the aisle and the whispers rippling like poison through first class. This wasn't just a flight from New York to LA. It was a lifeline, the last thread connecting him to a life that had already unraveled twice over. Once when his husband walked out, and now, as cancer clawed at Timmy's bones from the inside. The doctor in Boston had been blunt. "Get him to Cedars-Sinai. They have a trial that might buy you time." Time. That's all Randy begged for these days. In the quiet hours when the chemo drips echoed like accusations in their cramped Queens apartment. The attendant, her name tag read Karen. Because of course it did. Hovered like a vulture. Her lips pursed in that corporate snarl Randy had seen too many times in boardrooms back when he was climbing the ladder at Goldman Sachs. "Put him back in his seat immediately," she hissed, low enough not to alarm the high rollers but sharp enough to draw blood. "You're endangering everyone." Randy's jaw clenched, his free hand balling into a fist against the armrest. Endangering? As if Timmy's whimpers weren't the real hazard. As if this metal bird hurtling through the night wasn't already a gamble with death. He'd splurged on first class with the last of his savings, trading stock tips for upgrades from a sympathetic client who knew the score, knew about the scans, the nights Randy spent Googling pediatric leukemia survival rates until his eyes burned. Timmy, at 8, was all gangly limbs and faded Spider-Man pajamas. His bald head a map of the battles he'd fought and lost. "It's okay, buddy," Randy murmured, rocking him gently as the plane bucked again. "Daddy's got you. We're flying high, remember? Like superheroes." But superheroes didn't face down Karens with clipboards and FAA rulebooks. She thrust one under his nose, the laminated page blurring in his vision. "Federal Aviation Administration regulations prohibit." Regulations. Randy's voice rose, a low growl that silenced the cabin. Heads turned. The tech bro with his noise-canceling headphones half off, the silver-haired widow clutching her rosary. "My son is in pain. He's got leukemia, for Christ's sake. You think a seatbelt is going to save him if this tin can drops out of the sky?" Timmy buried his face deeper, his breaths coming in hiccups, and something primal snapped in Randy. A father's fury, honed by too many air weights and, "I'm sorry, Mr. Harlan, but the insurance won't cover." Karen's eyes narrowed, her pen tapping like a metronome of judgment. "I'm sorry about your situation, but rules are rules. If you don't comply, I'll have to alert the captain." The word situation landed like a slap, reducing Timmy's war to a footnote, Randy's devotion to a mere inconvenience. Around them, the air thickened with unspoken alliances. The businessman nodded approvingly at Karen, as if this were just another merger gone sideways. Randy's mind raced back to the gate, where he'd argued with the ticket agent over Timmy's booster seat. Too bulky for economy, they'd said, but first class had space. Or so he thought. Now it felt like a trap, every luxury a lie. He shifted Timmy higher, the boy's weight an anchor in the storm, and met Karen's gaze head-on. "Alert him. Tell him a dad is holding his dying kid. See what he says." The words hung there, raw and unfiltered, the dying part slipping out like a confession he hadn't meant to voice. Timmy stiffened, his whisper muffled against Randy's chest. "Am I dying, Daddy?" Randy's throat closed, tears pricking his eyes. "No, not now, not here. No, champ. You're fighting like a champ. This is just a bumpy road." Karen hesitated, her facade cracking for a flicker. Pity? Guilt? Before the mask slammed back, she radioed the cockpit, her voice clipped. "Captain, we have a non-compliant passenger in 2A. Medical issue, but refusing protocol." The response crackled back, tinny and authoritative. Escort him to the back if necessary. Safety first. Escort him to the back. Like luggage. Randy's blood boiled, visions of lawsuits and viral videos dancing in his head. He was no stranger to the fight. After Mark left, citing, "I can't watch this." Randy had lawyered up for custody, turned his finance smarts to navigating Medicaid mazes. But this was public execution. As the plane leveled out, the turbulence easing like a held breath, a new shadow fell over them. Not Karen, but a man from across the aisle, tall, broad-shouldered, with salt and pepper hair and a jawline that could cut glass. Vincent Russo, though Randy didn't know it yet, was ex-NYPD, now a security consultant jetting to a client in Beverly Hills. He'd been nursing a scotch, scrolling merger docs on his tablet, but Timmy's cry had pulled him from the numbers like a siren. "Everything all right here?" Vincent's voice was gravel wrapped in velvet, his eyes locking on Randy's with an intensity that bypassed the chaos. He stood, unbuckling casually, his frame filling the space like a wall against the storm. Karen straightened, sensing a complication. "Sir, this doesn't concern you. Please return to your seat." Vincent's smile didn't reach his eyes. "Oh, it concerns me when a kid's screaming like that. What's the problem?" He glanced at Timmy, softening just a notch, and Randy caught it. The flicker of recognition, the unspoken brotherhood of men who'd stared down worse than a bumpy flight. Randy exhaled, the first real breath since takeoff. "They want me to buckle him back in. He's sick. Can't take the pressure." Timmy peeked out, his eyes huge and trusting, and Vincent crouched down, level with him. "Hey, little man. Name's Vin. You like planes?" Timmy nodded shyly, clutching Randy's collar. "Yeah, but this one's mean." Vincent chuckled, a sound like distant thunder. "Most are, but you know what? Dads like this one, they're the real pilots." He shot Randy a look then. Quick, loaded, the kind that lingers in a man's mind long after the words fade. Randy felt seen, not as the frantic single dad, but as the warrior he was. Karen interjected, her tone sharpening. "This is a safety violation. If he doesn't comply, then you comply with basic humanity." Vincent cut in, rising slowly, his presence a quiet threat. "I've got friends at the FAA. You want to make a call?" It was a bluff, mostly. Vincent's contacts were more street than sky, but it landed. Karen faltered, radioing again, her voice wavering. As the captain's voice droned over the intercom, "Folks, we've got some rough air ahead, but the crew's on it." Randy rocked Timmy, whispering stories of superheroes who'd bent rules to save the day. Vincent settled back but didn't retreat, his eyes flicking to Randy's every few minutes, a silent vigil. In that pressurized tube 30,000 feet up, alliances formed in the unlikeliest places. By the time the drink cart rattled by, the tension had simmered to embers. Timmy dozed fitfully, his breaths evening out, and Randy accepted a water from the other attendant. A kinder soul named Mia, who murmured, "I'm so sorry. We'll get you blankets." Karen had vanished to the galley, her clipboard a shield. Vincent leaned over, voice low. "You holding up?" Randy met his gaze, exhaustion etching lines around his eyes. "Barely. Name's Randy. Harlan. This is Timmy." Pause, heavy with what wasn't said. "Thanks for whatever that was. Vincent Russo. And don't mention it. Seen enough bullshit in uniform to know when to call it." His hand brushed Randy's armrest. Accidental? Intentional? A spark in the recycled air. Randy's pulse jumped, unbidden. A reminder that beneath the dad armor, he was still a man, still capable of want. The plane dipped again, milder this time, and Timmy stirred. Mumbling about ice cream in LA, Randy smiled faintly. But inside, the hook of fear twisted deeper. What if the trial didn't work? What if this flight was their last adventure? He pushed it down, focusing on Vincent's steady presence. The way his laugh lines crinkled when he joked about bad airline food being worse than precinct coffee. Hours blurred into a fragile truce. Passengers dozed, screens glowed with forgotten movies, And Randy found himself talking, really talking, for the first time in months, about Mark's betrayal, the way he'd packed a bag the day after diagnosis, muttering, "I didn't sign up for this," about the nights Randy coded freelance apps to pay for experimental treatments, his fingers flying over keys while Timmy slept beside him. Vincent listened, nodding, sharing fragments of his own scars. The partner lost to a bullet in the line, the closet he'd cracked open only after retirement, the therapy sessions that taught him vulnerability wasn't weakness. "LA's got good docks," he said finally, as the descent lights winked on. "And good beaches. Take the kid for a sunset walk. Clears the head." Randy swallowed, the city lights blooming below like promises. "Yeah, maybe." But as they taxied to the gate, Karen reappeared, her expression thunderous. "Mr. Harlan, you'll be met by ground crew." There was a complaint. Complaint. From whom? The businessman, perhaps, or her own bruised ego? Randy's stomach dropped. Timmy, sensing it, clung tighter. Vincent stood first, blocking the aisle. "The hell? You harassing him now?" Karen's eyes darted. "Standard procedure for disruptions." "Disruptions?" Vincent's voice boomed, drawing stares. "You mean a dad protecting his cancer-stricken son? Lady, that's not disruption. That's decency." The cabin stirred, murmurs turning to outrage. Mia, from the back, piped up. "She wouldn't let me help with extra pillows earlier." The gate agents boarded, clipboards in hand, and what started as a routine debrief spiraled. Randy, voice steady for Timmy's sake, recounted it all. The turbulence, the pain, the refusal. Vincent backed him, his badge from another life flashing in his wallet like a talisman. Phones came out. Videos captured Karen's defensiveness, her just following policy mantra crumbling under scrutiny. By the time they deplaned, airport security had her sidelined, statements taken. Timmy, wheeled out in a complimentary chair, grinned at the lights. "Daddy, we won." Randy ruffled his hair, heart aching with fragile hope. Vincent lingered at baggage claim, his duffel slung over one shoulder. "Hey, if you need a hand in LA, rides, whatever, text me." He slipped a card, their fingers brushing, electric. Randy pocketed it, a flush creeping up his neck. "I might just take you up on that." As they parted, Randy to the oncology shuttle, Vincent to his rental car. The city sprawled before them, a canvas of second chances. But Randy didn't know yet that the video had gone viral, painting him as the villain. Entitled "Gay Dad Causes Chaos in First Class." The backlash was brewing, a storm fiercer than any they'd flown through. And Vincent, he was already scrolling, fists clenched, ready to fight. The Cedars-Sinai waiting room smelled of stale coffee and desperation, the kind that seeped into your pores no matter how many sanitizing wipes you used. Randy slumped in a vinyl chair, Timmy curled asleep against him, and 4 drip beeping softly in the corner of his mind like a metronome counting down. It was day 3 of tests, pokes, and scans, the trial looming like a guillotine, hopeful but edged with the stats no one voiced. 40% remission rate if they were lucky. His phone buzzed relentlessly, a hornet's nest he'd silenced but couldn't ignore. The video, grainy, edited to hell, had exploded overnight. "Arrogant single dad endangers flight for special treatment," screamed the headlines from Fox affiliates. The comments a cesspool of vitriol. Typical liberal snowflake abusing privileges. Who cares if the kid's sick? Rules are rules. And the zingers that cut deepest. Bet the husband bailed because Daddy Dearest is a drama queen. Randy scrolled despite himself, thumb trembling. At Magamom 42. First class? On welfare? Disgusting. He wasn't on welfare, far from it, juggling consulting gigs between hospital vigils. But facts didn't matter in the echo chamber. The gay angle? They'd sniffed it out from his Instagram, old photos of Mark and him at Pride. Timmy in a rainbow onesie. Now it was ammo, pushing the agenda on innocent passengers. A nurse, kind-eyed, with a hijab pinned neatly, touched his shoulder. "Mr. Harlan? Dr. Patel's ready." Randy nodded, pocketing the phone like a live grenade. Timmy stirred, rubbing his eyes. "Ice cream after?" Randy forced a grin. Double scoop, if you behave during the poke. The exam room was a sterile cocoon, posters of smiling cells dividing like happy families. Dr. Patel, a wiry man with glasses perched on his nose like a scholar's, reviewed the scans. The leukemic burden is high but stable. The trial CAR-T therapy could target the remnants. Side effects are rough, but we've seen miracles. Miracles. Randy clung to that, signing consents with a hand that shook. Outside, the LA sun beat down like judgment, palm trees swaying mockingly as Randy pushed Timmy's wheelchair through the plaza. His phone lit up again, not hate this time, but Vincent. Saw the news. You okay? Coffee on me, Starbucks across from the hospital. 2 p.m.? Randy's chest loosened a fraction. Yeah. Oxygen break needed. The Starbucks was a hipster haven. Chalkboard menus scrawled with seasonal lattes. Baristas tattooed like walking art. Vincent waited at a corner table, 2 vents steaming before him. His button-down rolled to the elbows, revealing forearms corded from years of weights and worry. He stood as Randy approached, Timmy trailing with a borrowed sketchpad. Hey, warriors! He ruffled Timmy's non-existent hair gently. What'll it be, kid? Hot chocolate with extra whips. Timmy beamed, the first real spark since the flight. Yes, and sprinkles. Vincent laughed, that gravelly sound cutting through the din. Sprinkles mandatory. As he ordered, Randy watched him. The easy command at the counter, the way heads turned, not in fear but admiration. Ex-cop charisma, laced with something softer, unguarded. Back at the table, steam rising like peace flags, Vincent slid over a tablet. Figured you'd want the full story. He'd compiled clips. The original passenger footage, unedited, showing Karen's rigidity, Timmy's cries. Hashtags bloomed. Justice for Timmy, airline fail. Turning the tide. Celebrities chimed in. A queer actor from that zombie show tweeted, as a gay dad myself, this hits hard. Fly safe, not soulless. Donations trickled into a GoFundMe Randy hadn't started but now blessed. You're a detective in disguise, Randy said, sipping his Americano. Black as his mood had been. Vincent shrugged, but his eyes held heat. Old habits. Plus, couldn't let the wolves circle. A beat, then quieter. Saw the comments. The ugly ones. You don't deserve that shit. Randy's laugh was bitter. Comes with the territory. Gay dad? Single? It's like wearing a target. He glanced at Timmy, absorbed in drawing a plane with superheroes battling clouds. Mark said I was too intense. Too. Everything. Left when the real fight started. Vincent leaned in, elbows on the table, closing the space. Mark's an idiot. Intensity's what keeps us alive. His gaze dropped to Randy's hands, then back up, lingering on his mouth. The air hummed, charged, like the moment before a storm breaks. Randy felt it, the pull, magnetic, forbidden in its timing. When had he last felt desired? Not pitted, not parented, but wanted. Timmy piped up, crayon waving. Mr. Vin, draw with me? Vincent obliged, sketching a lopsided shield. There, Captain America style. As they bantered, Randy stole glances, tracing the lines of Vincent's profile. The scar above his eyebrow from a bar fight in the Bronx, the laugh lines from better days. The afternoon stretched, lazy and unhurried, rare for Randy's regimented hell. They wandered to a nearby park, Timmy chasing pigeons while the men sat on a bench, city noise a distant roar. Why'd you step in on the plane? Randy asked finally, legs brushing accidentally. Vincent's answer was slow, deliberate. Saw you holding him like he was the whole world. Reminded me of someone I couldn't save. His voice cracked on the edge, eyes distant. Partner, Tommy, took a stray in Harlem. I was too late. Randy's hand found Vincent's knee, a tentative anchor. I'm sorry. The touch lingered, evolving from comfort to current. Vincent covered it with his own, rough palm warm. Don't be. Makes me fight harder now. Their eyes met, and in that gaze, histories collided. Loss weaving into possibility. Back at the hospital for round 2 of blood work, Randy's phone erupted again. Not good news. Airline HQ calling. Mr. Harlan. Regarding the incident. He braced Timmy's hand in his. But it was an apology, official, scripted, promising review. Karen? Suspended pending investigation. Mia had come forward, corroborating everything. Vincent texted, told you. Dinner tonight? My treat, in and out, kid's fave. Randy smiled, typing back. You're on. But as the needle pricked Timmy's vein, his grin faltered. The boy whimpered. It burns, Daddy. Randy held him, whispering. Brave like Vin's superheroes. That night, under neon arches, burgers greasy and glorious. They ate on a picnic table, Timmy chattering about drawings. Vincent regaled with cocktails. Tamer versions, no gore. His foot nudging Randy's under the table, deliberate now. You know, he said later, as they walked to Randy's borrowed SUV. LA's not bad for fresh starts. Got a guest room if trials drag. Randy's heart stuttered. Tempting, but we're New Yorkers, grit and all. Vincent stopped, turning him gently by the arm. Streetlights haloed them, casting long shadows. Grit's good, but you don't have to carry it alone. He leaned in, breath mingling, lips brushing Randy's cheek. Chaste, but loaded. Think about it. Timmy yawned from the back seat. Oblivious. Randy drove away, pulse racing, the kiss of brand. Back at the Ronald McDonald house, he tucked Timmy in, then lay awake, scrolling Vincent's profile. Rugged hikes in the Sierras, fundraisers for queer youth. A good man. A real one. Dawn brought the hammer. A call from his lawyer back east. Randy, the video's stirring custody shit. Mark's team claims instability. Public meltdown, they call it. Wants supervised visits. Betrayal. Fresh and festering. Mark, who'd ghosted for a year, now circling like a shark scenting blood. Randy's world tilted. He texted Vincent, rough morning. Coffee? The reply, on my way. But as Vincent pulled up, all easy smiles, Randy's phone pinged. A photo from an anonymous tip. Mark with a new guy, arm around Timmy from a supervised park day Randy hadn't known about. The knife twisted. Vincent sensed it, pulling him into a hug by the car. Talk to me. Words spilled. Mark's ploy, the fear of losing Timmy. Vincent's arms tightened, solid as oak. He won't win. You're the rock. I'll help, whatever it takes. In that embrace, Randy broke, sobs muffled against Vincent's shoulder. For the first time, he wasn't alone. But the storm was far from over. Mark's lawyers were sharks, and the internet jury still bang. As they parted, Vincent's kiss, full now on the lips, tasting of resolve, sealed a pact. Allies, lovers, time would tell. Yet in the quiet, Randy wondered, could he trust again? Or was this just another flight through turbulence? Bound to crash? The trial infusion hit like a freight train wrapped in hope. Timmy strapped to the bed, Cartoon 4 stand beeping merrily, while the CAR T cells coursed through his veins like tiny assassins hunting leukemia. Randy paced the room, hospital gown crinkling under his jeans, watching his son's chest rise and fall in drugged sleep. It'll work, the nurse promised, patting his arm. We've got you. But promises were paper thin, and Randy's faith frayed with every beep. Outside, LA pulsed indifferent, traffic snarls on the 101, influencers snapping selfies at Runyon Canyon. Vincent had become a fixture. Morning runs delivering bagels, evenings with board games where he'd let Timmy win at Battleship. You're rigging it, Randy teased one night. Plates of takeout Thai scattered on the fold-out couch. Vincent grinned, wiping soy sauce from his lip. Guilty. Kids got enough losses. Their nights deepened, tentative explorations in stolen moments. Kisses in the hospital kitchenette. Vincent's hands mapping Randy's back like uncharted territory. Missed this, Vincent murmured against his neck. The words a balm to scars Mark had left. Randy arched into it, hungry for the heat, the normalcy. Me too. God, me too. But dawn always came, hauling him back to reality. Court filings stacking like indictments. Mark's motion for custody modification landed like a bomb, citing the flight meltdown, as evidence of emotional volatility, bolstered by expert affidavits claiming Randy's lifestyle, code for gay, always endangered Timmy's stability. He's using the video, Randy fumed to his California counsel, a sharp-dressed lesbian named Elena who'd taken the case pro bono after seeing the GoFundMe, twisting protection into pathology. Elena's office overlooked the Hollywood sign, a ironic beacon of fabricated dreams. We've got counter-evidence, medical records, the airline's internal report clearing you, and Vincent's statement, he's a character witness goldmine. She smirked. Ex-cop, decorated, out and proud? Juries eat that up. Randy nodded, but doubt gnawed. Vincent had offered more than testimony, digging into Mark's finances with old precinct contacts, uncovering discrepancies, offshore accounts, a business trip to Cabo with the new boyfriend that smelled like fraud. Leverage, Vincent said over beers at a dive bar in Silver Lake, neon signs buzzing like fireflies, guys hiding assets to duck child support. We expose it, he backs off. The bar was a queer haven. Rainbow flags draped over pool tables, Dolly Parton crooning from the jukebox. Randy nursed his IPA, the foam bitter as his thoughts. You're all in, huh? Vincent's hand found his under the table, thumb stroking knuckles. Said whatever it takes. Meant it. Their eyes locked, the din fading to a hum. Randy leaned across, capturing Vincent's mouth in a kiss that tasted of hops and home. Deep, unhurried, the kind that rewires souls. Back at the Ronald McDonald house, with Timmy asleep down the hall, they tumbled into bed, clothes shedding like old skins. Vincent's body was a landscape of strength and story. Tattoos from his academy days, a bullet scar low on his hip like a secret. Randy traced it with fingers, then lips, worshipping the man who'd stormed his defenses. Beautiful, he breathed, as Vincent pinned him gently, their rhythms syncing like heartbeats. Gasps filled the room, urgent yet tender, climax crashing like waves on Malibu shores. After, tangled in sheets that smelled of bleach in them, Vincent propped on an elbow. Ever think about staying? After the trial? Randy's chest tightened. New York was roots, Mark's shadow, the apartment with Timmy's drawings taped to fridge. But LA? Sunsets with Vincent. Beaches where Timmy could build castles without winter's bite. Maybe. If. The if hung, unspoken. If Timmy rallied, if Mark folded, if this wasn't borrowed time. Vincent kissed his temple. No pressure, just dreaming out loud. Dawn brought fever, Timmy's, spiking to 102. The CAR-T unleashing cytokine storms as promised. Randy bolted to the ER, Vincent trailing with coffee forgotten. He's tough, Vincent said, gripping the bed rail as Doc swarmed. Timmy thrashed, mumbling deliriously. Daddy, plain. Bad guys. Randy stroked his brow, tears hot. I'm here, champ. Vin's here too. Hours blurred into vigil. Ice packs, monitors wailing, Elena texting updates on the custody front. Mark had responded to their probe, aggressive, demanding mediation. He's scared, she wrote. We push the affair angle, he cracks. But pushing meant pain, deposing Mark, dragging skeletons into light. Randy agonized over it in the cafeteria, fluorescent lights buzzing like doubts. Vincent found him there, sliding a tray of Jell-O. He doesn't get to win by default. For Timmy, mediation convened in a glass-walled conference room downtown, smog hazing the skyline. Mark arrived polished. Armani suit, hair gelled, the new guy absent but his ghost in every smirk. Randy, he greeted, cool as marble. This has gone far enough. Far enough. Randy's voice cracked, Elena's hand on his arm a tether. You abandoned us. Now you want him because, what? Optics? Your boyfriend's not kid-friendly. Mark's face tightened, the bluff cracking. I was overwhelmed, but I'm stable now. You? Viral pariah. Vincent, in the observer chair, leaned forward. Stable? Like hiding $50K in the Caymans to skip support. Mark blanched, eyes darting to his lawyer. A weasel-faced type fumbling papers. The room ignited. Accusations flew, Elena dropping docs like grenades, bank statements, flight logs to Cabo. "You son of a—" Randy lunged, Vincent hauling him back with a firm grip. "Easy. Let the sharks eat." Mark sputtered denials, but the math didn't lie. By adjournment, his team was folding, mediation veering to settlement. Full custody to Randy, increased support, supervised Mark visits only. Outside, rain slicked the streets. A rarity in LA, cleansing. Randy sagged against the building, sobs racking. "It's over." Vincent pulled him close, umbrellas be damned. "You did it. We did." Their kiss was rain-salted, fierce, sealing victory. But triumph soured fast. That night, Timmy's fever broke, but scans whispered warning. Incomplete response. More rounds needed. "He's fighting," Dr. Patel said, but his eyes said fight harder. Randy collapsed into Vincent, the high crashing. "What if it's not enough?" Vincent held him through the night, bodies entwined, words weaving promises. "Then we fight together." But in the dark, Randy's mind churned. Betrayal's echo in Mark's eyes. The internet's lingering hate. Could love withstand leukemia's siege? The next week brought a curveball, airline settlement. Compensation, public apology, and Karen's termination. Leaked memos showing her history of complaints. Vindication bittersweet. Randy donated half to pediatric research, the rest to Timmy's college fund. Vincent toasted with cheap champagne. To the dad who got him fired. Laughter bubbled, but under it, tension simmered. Mark's final email. "For Timmy's sake, let's end this clean." Clean? Randy deleted it, blocking the number. Clean was a luxury for men without scars. As summer bled into fall, wait. LA didn't do seasons, just endless gold. Randy weighed the scales. Timmy thrived on beach days, Vincent building sand forts, Randy sketching logos for a new app, Hero Hold, parent advocacy tech. Offers trickled from Silicon Beach startups, queer-friendly, flexible. One sunset, toes in surf, Timmy splashing ahead. Vincent turned to Randy. "Stay. Build with me." The words were a proposal unadorned. Randy's heart soared, then dipped. New York's pull, the unknown. I need to think." Vincent nodded, no pressure, but hurt flickered. That night, lovemaking was desperate, bodies claiming what words withheld. Climax left them gasping, Vincent whispering, "I love you." Randy froze, the L word a thunderclap. Love? After Mark's lies? He held Vincent silent, fear coiling like the disease they battled. Morning brought decision. A job offer solid with relocation stipend. Randy accepted, emailing his subletter in Queens. But telling Vincent? He waited, cowardice creeping. Then betrayal struck. Not Mark's, but fresher. Scrolling news, Randy found it. Vincent's ex-partner Tommy's file, unsealed in a wrongful death suit. Claims of negligence, Vincent's reckless pursuit, leading to the shooting. He froze. A witness quoted. Randy's stomach roiled. Was this the man he trusted with his son? Confrontation brewed, storm clouds gathering over the Pacific. The hospital hallway echoed with the squeak of nurses' shoes, a metronome to Randy's unraveling pulse as he clutched the printout. Tommy's case file, pages dog-eared from frantic reading. Reckless. Froze. Words like bullets, ricocheting off the walls of trust he'd rebuilt so carefully. Vincent sat in the waiting area, oblivious, flipping through a dog-eared Sports Illustrated. His laugh lines deepening as Timmy described a Lego spaceship catastrophe. Randy approached, paper folding in his fist like a grenade pin. "We need to talk." Vincent's brow furrowed, sensing the shift. "Yeah? Everything okay with the kiddo?" Timmy looked up, crayon paused. "Go play in the garden, champ. Vin and I got grown-up stuff." Timmy scampered off and Vincent stood, following Randy to a quiet alcove by the vending machines. Fluorescent hum underscoring the tension. "What is it?" Vincent asked, voice low, hand reaching. Randy flinched back, the file thrust forward. "This, Tommy, you never said. The suit, they called you negligent." Vincent's face drained, eyes scanning the headline. Widower sues NYPD over partner's death. He let him die. He exhaled slow, ragged. Randy, it's old news. Buried years ago. Buried? Or hidden? Randy's voice rose, cracking. You froze, Vin. In a chase, you hesitated. And he. The words choked him, visions of Timmy in crossfire, Vincent's steadiness fracturing. How can I trust you with us? With him. Vincent's jaw worked, pain etching deep. I didn't freeze. I covered, took the shot that saved the squad. But the lawyers spun it for payout. Tommy's family needed cash. Insurance dragged. I settled to shut it down. He stepped closer, desperate. It gutted me. That's why I quit. Why I fight clean now. Randy shook his head, tears blurring the print. You should have told me. From the start. Betrayal's taste was coppery, familiar, Mark's omissions, now Vincent's silences. I opened up every scar. And you? What? Protecting your hero image. Vincent's hands balled, then unclenched. No. Protecting you. From my baggage. Thought we were building something new. His voice broke, raw. Love isn't audit forms, Randy. It's faith. Faith. The word mocked, leukemia's shadow lengthening with every ambiguous blood draw. Timmy's latest count. Elevated, the CAR-T faltering. Randy turned away, shoulders heaving. I can't. Not now. With everything. Vincent reached again. But the wall was up, ironclad. Give me a chance to explain. Dinner. Neutral ground. Randy hesitated, Timmy's laughter drifting from the garden like a lifeline. One shot. Tomorrow. But if it's lies. Vincent nodded, eyes stormy. Truth. All of it. The next evening, Randy left Timmy with Elena's intern, a peppy med student, and met Vincent at a taqueria in Echo Park. Mariachi strains weaving through the air. Tacos arrived steaming, but appetites waned. Vincent talked, halting at first, then torrent. The night in Harlem, rain-slick streets, Tommy's radio crackling, suspect down the alley. The shot that felled the perp, but not before Tommy caught the ricochet. I held him, Vincent whispered, beer untouched. Last words. Love you, Russo. Don't quit. The suit? Family desperation. Amplified by tabloids hungry for gay cop drama. Vincent's settlement. Anonymous donation to their foundation. No admission. I quit because badges break you. But it didn't break me loving hard. His gaze pleaded. Like I love you. Randy's walls trembled, but held. I want to believe. God, I do. But Timmy. One wrong move. Vincent nodded, no push. I get it. Actions over words. He slid a folder across, his own, therapy transcripts, commendations, the charity he'd founded in Tommy's name. Proof. They parted with a hug. Stiff. Aching. Randy driving home to Timmy's bedtime stories. Vincent sent clinging like regret. Sleep evaded. Dreams tangled. Planes crashing. Bullets whizzing. Vincent's arms both savior and snare. Weeks blurred. Timmy's fevers cycled. The trial extended with boosters. Randy threw into work. The HeroHold app launched beta. Download spiking from queer parent forums. Vincent was constant, but cautious. Airport pickups. Park picnics, no overnights. The space chafed. Desire simmering to frustration. Climax brewed at a fundraiser, Vincent's annual gala for queer youth. Black tie under the Griffith Observatory stars. Randy attended for Timmy, who idolized Mr. Vin's superheroes. But nerves jangled. Mark lurked in periphery, invited via mutuals, a ceasefire gesture Elena warned against. The ballroom glittered, donors and tuxes mingling with kids in ill-fitting suits, laughter a fragile veneer. Vincent spotted Randy across the room, eyes lighting like beacons. He approached, Timmy on his hip, unplanned, but perfect. You came. A kiss to Randy's cheek, public, claiming. Timmy wriggled down, dashing to a face-painting booth. Alone, Vincent's hand found Randy's lower back. Missed you. Heat flared, but Mark's approach doused it. Champagne flute in hand, smile oily. Randy. Vin. Cozy. Vincent stiffened, arms sliding protectively around Randy. Mark. The air crackled, old wounds suppurating. Mark's eyes flicked to their closeness. Heard about the app. Noble. But custody's settled. Why stir more drama? A jab veiled. Randy bristled. Drama? Like your Cabo jaunts. Mark's facade slipped, glass clinking hard on a tray. Ancient history. I'm here for Timmy. Lies. His invite was Elena's trap to gauge remorse. Vincent stepped up, voice steel. Then act like it. Not like the prick who bailed. Mark's face reddened, drawing stares. You don't know shit, Russo. Ex-cop playing house. The slur landed on Vincent's past, their present. Randy's temper ignited. Enough. You're out, Mark. Security, Vincent's doing. Escorted him, murmurs rippling. But the damage. A donor? Tommy's sister. Overheard, cornering Vincent. Is it true? The suit. Ghosts exhumed. Later, on the observatory deck, city lights sprawling like spilled diamonds, Randy confronted. She told me. About the donation. Why you never cleared your name. Vincent leaned on the rail, wind tousling his hair. Didn't matter. Tommy's legacy did. Randy's heart cracked open. It matters to me. You're not reckless, you're human. He pulled Vincent close, the kiss fierce, apologetic under the stars. I love you too. Scared shitless, but yes. Elation surged, but betrayal's echo lingered. Mark's parting shot. Whispered to a reporter. Randy's new boyfriend? Bad news. Check his record. The story dropped pre-dawn. Gay dad's lover linked to deadly shooting. Hashtags reignited. Unfit family. Randy woke to chaos. Phones ringing. Elena cursing voicemails. Timmy, sensing storm, clung. Bad guys again? Vincent arrived. Face grim. We'll fight it. But Randy saw the toll. Eyes hollow, the gala's glow dimmed. The climax crested in court. Not custody, but defamation suit against Mark's leak. Elena's strategy. Vincent's full testimony. Turning defense to offense. As he took the stand, voice steady, recounting that Harlem night, Randy watched from the gallery, pride swelling. I didn't freeze. I chose life. For my team. For Tommy's memory. Jury ate it, verdict. Slander, damages awarded, Mark's credibility shredded. Outside, paparazzi flashed, but Vincent shielded Randy and Timmy, a human wall. Over, he murmured, kissing Randy's temple. Not quite. Timmy's next scan, remission whispers, cells retreating. Cheers echoed in the hospital, confetti from nurses. But Vincent pulled Randy aside. The leak? Traced it, not Mark alone. Karen from the flight. Fired bitter. Paid by a rag for expose. Rage boiled. Randy's app had a new feature. Whistleblower shield. We'll bury her. But Vincent shook his head. Humanity, remember? Donate her settlement to Timmy's fund. Grace. Randy nodded, tears pricking. Love's true test. Yet shadows loomed. Vincent's job offer in D.C., Homeland Security gig, pulling him east. Temporary, he said. 6 months. Randy's gut twisted. Another goodbye? As winter's chill nipped LA's edges, decisions pressed. The Ronald McDonald House Christmas tree twinkled with mismatched ornaments. Paper angels from last year's kids, tinsel donated in bulk, casting erratic light on Randy's face as he wrapped Vincent's gift. A custom leather wallet, embossed with Russo, hero unbadged. Timmy, cross-legged on the floor, mangled tape around a lopsided star for Mr. Vin. Is he coming, Daddy? With the snow. LA snow, slushy flurries from an El Niño whim. But Timmy dreamed of Central Park whites. Randy ruffled his hair, now a faint fuzz from regrowth. Any minute, champ. And yeah, snowman tomorrow. Remission held, fragile as the season's peace. Monthly checks. The trial a success story in Patel's rounds. But Vincent's countdown ticked. DC in January, the job a siren call to purpose. Door knocked, and there he was. Vincent, cheeks ruddy from chill, arms laden with bags. Candy canes, a sled from some impulse buy. Ho ho ho, warriors. Timmy tackled his legs, squealing. Randy pulled him up for a kiss, mulled wine on Vincent's breath, the embrace lingering. "Missed you," Randy murmured. Vincent's week in D.C. for interviews had stretched nerves taut. Late calls, pixelated faces on Zoom. Dinner was chaos. "Take out prime rib?" Timmy's elf hat askew as he helped mash potatoes. Stories flowed, Vincent's precinct legends sanitized for kid ears. Randy's app hitting 10K users. Mark's radio silence a blessed void. Post-bedtime, fire crackling in the communal hearth. They curled on the couch, eggnog spiked. "The job," Vincent started, hesitant. "Its big policy on queer safety in schools. Could change things." Randy's heart clenched. "And us?" Vincent's hand traced his jaw. "Video calls, weekends. I've done long distance. Hated it, but for this. Duties pull, the same that felled Tommy." Randy nodded, throat tight. "Proud of you, but Timmy, he'll miss his superhero." Vincent's eyes glistened. "Miss you more." The kiss deepened, hands roaming, pulling them to the dim-lit room. Lovemaking was slow, reverent, bodies mapping familiar paths, whispers of stay unspoken. After, sweat cooled, Vincent confessed, offered remote, but deceased the hub. Dawn broke with Timmy's glee, unwrapping the sled, demanding snow. They drove to the hills, Vincent rigging a hillock with packed slush, Timmy whooping down on his belly. Randy captured it on phone, laughter freezing cheeks. "Best Christmas," Timmy declared, hugging them both. In that tableau, 3 figures against white-draped palms. Randy saw family, patchwork but whole. But January loomed, suitcases half-packed. The betrayal's final twist came via email. Karen's appeal, leaked to press, claiming Randy's aggressive homosexuality, provoked her, twisting the flight into culture war fodder. Far-right blogs amplified. Airline victim of woke mob. Donations to her defense fund surged, irony bitter. Randy's blood iced. "She's unhinged." Vincent, scanning the screed over coffee, growled. "We countersue defamation round 2. But Elena advised caution. She's broke, desperate. Publicity's her win." Instead, Randy pivoted, Hero holds new campaign. Fly Human, partnering with airlines for family protocols. The video, repurposed. Randy's testimony, Timmy's smile, Vincent's steady voiceover. It went mega viral, not hate, but heart, parents sharing stories, celebs amplifying. Karen's fund withered, her appeal dismissed as frivolous. Vindication, full circle. Yet Vincent's flight neared DC bound, promise ring glinting on Randy's finger, a placeholder for vows. Airport drop-off. Timmy clung. "Don't go, Vin. Fight bad guys here." Vincent knelt, eye level. "I am, kiddo. Protecting futures like yours." A high five sealed with a wink. Then Randy, arms wrapped tight. 6 months. Then west. Vincent nodded. Fierce. "Or I quit. You're my north." The kiss was airport public, defiant, passersby staring, but they didn't care. As Vincent boarded, Randy held Timmy, waving till the gate swallowed him. Months stretched. Video dates. Timmy's Uncle Vin drawings mailed express. Randy's app boomed. A TEDx invite for parent power in crisis. LA wove them in beach barbecues with Elena's crew. Pride floats where Timmy waved rainbow flags. But nights ached. Bed cold. Mark's ghost in solo parenting's grind. Spring bloomed with news. Timmy's 1-year scan clean. Remission confirmed. Patel beamed. Party at the house. Cakes, balloons, Vincent zooming from DC, face pixel fat. "Knew it. Champ." Tears streamed, toasts raised to absent heroes. Then the call, Vincent, voice electric. Policy passed. Schools safer for kids like ours. Pause. "I'm coming back." Full remote, LA office. Randy hooped, Timmy cheering beside. "When?" "Now. Wheels up tomorrow." Elation crashed as arrival. Airport reunion, Vincent striding through arrivals, duffel swinging. Timmy barreled into him. Randy followed, kiss crashing like homecoming. Missed my pilots. Vincent grinned, arms full. They drove to a canyon overlook, sunset painting the city gold. Timmy napped in back, exhausted from joy. Future? Randy asked, hand in Vincent's. Ours. House in the hills, room for Lego empires. You, app mogul. Me, consultant dad. Vincent squeezed. And weddings? Legal style. Randy laughed, tears pricking. Yeah, with snow imported for Timmy. The kiss sealed it under vast sky, romance reborn, human in its scars. Epilogue whispers. A year on, vows exchanged at Malibu Sands, Timmy ringbearer in tiny tucks. Mark attends, subdued, a co-parent truce. Karen fades to footnote, her hate drowned in progress. Randy's book deal, turbulent skies. A gay dad's fight, tops charts, proceeds to leukemia funds. In quiet nights, Vincent's arms around them, Randy reflects. Love isn't absence of storm, but flying through. Betrayals forge, not break, if met with grace. And in America's sprawl, from Queen's grit to LA glow, they found their landing, wings steady, hearts full. Humanity's arc, not perfection, but persistence. For Timmy, for them, for the boy held tight in first-class fury, a legacy of fight and flight.